Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to be analysing the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities there may be today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Right, starting off on the daily, EU on the top, DXY on the bottom. What does the daily show us? Well, we clearly have that SMC which I saw coming in previous videos, from this low to this high low here, and this high to this high. So DXY is showing some strength by not creating that lower low. Right now it's being held at this daily order block, whereas EU has swept above those previous highs. We've also swept above the previous daily high already overnight, and previous daily low as well on DXY. Clearly we had a very big bullish engulfing day yesterday with that CPI news, but nonetheless we've swept buy side liquidity, we have SMC divergence, so both would indicate weakness at least for the short term to pull back on EU. Now given how corrective this is, we could very well continue our trend down to take this sell side liquidity trend line out, and then of course the same on DXY. But we won't forecast too far into the future. However, today, even just from the daily, it does seem likely to have a bearish day to fill some of this imbalance here and also pull back from this premium and buy side liquidity being swept to more of a discount or a POI for some sort of sell side liquidity. So I think the daily is very clear. So let's go down to the 4 hour, see what that shows us. So onto the 4 hour, I've identified this as our bullish leg. We made a new higher high quite clearly. We swept that internal liquidity, mitigated this 4 hour order block and imbalance, and then since Tuesday it's just been pretty much a bullish run up to these highs. Obviously our discount is down in this area. We have this nice 4 hour order block down here. We're mostly mitigated up in this area, but we'll see what price does. We're feeling an imbalance here at the moment, but the real discount POI is down here. So we're very much within that premium. We've taken buy side liquidity. We have that obvious SMC divergence, and we've taken the previous daily high as well. So I don't think there's loads to show on the 4 hour either, just that we have a bullish leg, we're in the premium, and same picture as the daily, we've taken plenty of buy side liquidity. On DXY, you'll see that we've spiked into that 4 hour order block here. Spiked into it, showing some sort of rejection. And of course, we have our DXY imbalances around this area as well that we may pull back to within the premium of this 4 hour leg here. So all that seems good. I think it's creating that bias today of shorts on EU, at least for the time being. So let's go down to the 1 hour and see what that's showing us now as well. So this may be a quick analysis today because obviously given the leg that's been created, it's going to be the same on all these higher time frames. So we have that same leg here. It may be interpreted as from this area here to there as well. Either way, we have probably this 1 hour POI down here, just about in the discount. That's probably the most clear POI that I can see. Everything else in here looks fairly balanced. I don't see much imbalance going on. So this would probably be the best place for some sort of support POI that I can identify at this time. Right, because we can see there's an imbalance here and we have the order block behind it. And we had a lot of momentum around this area as well. So the main takeaways from all of the analysis so far is more the direction. These POIs can be interpreted however we want. The things that are more crucial are that, again, we're in a premium, we've taken buy side liquidity, we have our SMC divergence on the higher time frame. So all of the higher time frame is just showing that most recently buy side liquidity has been swept, we're in a premium, maybe a bullish leg. Is painting that picture that we could pull back from here, given that liquidity should be on our side and we should be seeking out some sort of sell side liquidity POI or low. DXY is obviously also respecting the 4 hour order block and the daily order block so far. So let's move on. Let's go down to the M15 and see what opportunities we may be able to see today. So far this morning, despite it being clearly bearish on the higher time frame candles, on the lower time frame, you can see there's not much momentum from anywhere just yet. The only thing I can identify, I would prefer, of course, if London, Frankfurt sweep something. Now my bias is clearly bearish, right? So let's run through a couple of scenarios and how I see we may be able to get into a bearish trade and short EU. So the first thing I can identify is we have this small 15-minute order block around this area here. Now it's not the best, because what I prefer my order blocks to do and to look like is for them to swept liquidity clearly internally to the left and then break down with some momentum. Now we have broken a low after this 15-minute order block appeared. Price doesn't have great momentum. We didn't really sweep liquidity to the left, and this is still the Asia cycle that exists. Now the reason I'm considering shorts already without, say, sweeping the top of Asia is because we have already taken so much buy side liquidity from previous historic highs. So as I've drawn out here, we have our breaker structure already around here, a 15-minute order block here, and potentially we can pull back to this order block to continue shorting EU. The order would look something like this, of course, and you could place the stop just above that high there personally, because it's kind of like one whole area. Now the danger is we've taken the sell side liquidity of Asia, gone into this old M15 order block here. We may come up for buy side liquidity before breaking down again properly. So it may sweep these highs, it may respect this order block. We don't know. A safer option would obviously be to stop up here, but that depends on what suits you, right? So that's how I see it so far. These are like half chances. They don't look the best, but it could definitely play out. Personally, I believe the most high probability and low risk options would be for price to make its way back towards those Asia highs, sweep this high, right? Sweep that buy side liquidity and then break down. So then we've got a new breaker structure, possibly some sort of liquidity trend line in the short term, but more importantly, buy side liquidity sweep on this current day to give us a good order block to work from. Give us a good order block and imbalance on a lower time frame to work from to go down. Now this obviously may not happen exactly like this, but just something that looks like this, where we have our breaker structure, the most important feature being the buy side liquidity being swept from above the highs, possible corrective pullback to our lower time frame order block imbalance, where we can set our order stop loss just above the high and trade short down towards a more discount. So this would be preferred, some clear buy side liquidity. That may happen maybe here. I think it's a good chance we'll respect the Asia highs today and just sweep some internal liquidity around here. This would be the scenario that just looks the best. So other than that scenario I just showed you, I think if we don't come up and clearly take any buy side liquidity from above here and it happens down here, I think the best thing is just to be patient somewhat. So, you know, we may do something like that, break down, just wait for that continuation opportunity. Wait for this sort of continuation opportunity where we've broken down. We may break down again somewhere here and leave a good order block behind. So we pull up, sweep some internal liquidity, break down, we get our pullback to our lower time frame order block and imbalance, and then we can trade short. So it could happen somewhere around here in price that we come up, sweep some liquidity and break down again. So that would look something like this. Breaker structure around here, possible inducement somewhere around here for the pullback to our lower time frame order block to trade short, stop loss just above that high. So this would be more of the continuation. Something happened around here, we break down again, pull back, and then we play the continuation more towards that discount. So I've ran through three scenarios there, only because the price action isn't clear on the lower time frames as of yet. I think the higher time frame is very clear. Buy side liquidity being taken is very clear. New leg, very clear. And usually after that, we're going to pull back towards a discount and some POIs. So I think that's all very clear. We've got DXY on side as well. SMC divergence. So I'll be looking for shorts today. I hope you gained value from that. I hope it was clear. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.